All right, the thing that's been on everybody's mind is finally coming true. I think everybody manifested it. Snow, and it might be the first one, the first big one of the year. Meteorologist Kit Thomas is here. What are we in for?
We are in for a snowstorm.
Yeah, there we go.
No, that
short
much.
And sweet. But how bad are we talking?
It's going to be an impact. The thing is, last year we had 7.5 inches of snow in January. That was the biggest snow we had last year and the biggest one we'd had for a while. But the thing is, this one may rival that one that we had last year. I'm not going to get too caught up in the numbers just yet. Number one, it's too early. I'm still not comfortable issuing a map with, this amount of snow here, this amount of snow there, this amount of snow there. I do enjoy making those maps, but it's too early for the data to be reliable to get a precise amount. We could see some areas across this system, especially into the Appalachians, way to our east, there could be some that see well over a foot. I'm still doubting we see that in the Mid-South, but it's still something that we don't yet know. Why don't we know this? Is because all of the factors, all of the air masses are still way far apart. So where is the air right now? This blue is at the surface, what will be at the surface by middle of the snowstorm on Saturday. This air box here is what's happening in the mid-levels, and this air box is what's happening about several miles above the surface, about 5 kilometers above the surface there. So as we play this forward, as we go through Tuesday into Wednesday, everything is slowly starting to move to our area. Thursday, we still have air that's out over the Pacific. We can't measure that air, so that is why we're getting some error in these long-range models. Then as we go Thursday into Friday, that's when they start getting a little bit closer. By Saturday, we'll start to see that air mass coming in, or this is for Friday night, early Saturday morning, and then they all come together right by Sunday, I should say. So that is the progression of the system. We've got to wait for all three of these air masses to align, and that is going to bring the snow to Memphis. So that's what's going on. We don't have everything aligned just yet. So with this winter storm this weekend, we're just focusing on the impacts right now, not the amount of snow you're going to see in your backyard. It's going to be a lot, and it's going to impact your travel. It's going to bring in very cold temperatures. You saw that surface air. It's all the way up in the Arctic right now, around the Hudson Bay. We're looking at a chance for snow and sleet, and possibly some freezing rain as one component of this. So the weather impact alert that we've got for you is Friday to Saturday to Sunday. That's the timing of this significant winter storm that's on the way. We could see some very heavy snowfall, probably some of the most we've seen in at least a decade, if not a couple of decades. So keep an eye on the forecast over the next couple of days. If you have plans to travel, plan contingencies for canceling those plans. The other side of this is just the cold air. As the cold wind brings in the teens for actual air temperature, the wind chills are going to be dropping below zero across much of the area. So it's going to be very cold through our Saturday and even into our Sunday. We still have those single-digit wind chills. We'll briefly get up into the teens there, the low teens Sunday. And then Monday, we're still with that snowpack on the ground. That cold, icy air can slide down very, very easily. So let's talk about the snow. This is from the Weather Prediction Center, one of our resources that guide our forecasts. This is the probability of whether it's sleet or snow, how much liquid we're talking about, the threshold of a 1/4 inch of liquid or more. We're in that 30 to 50% chance here for our Saturday. Then as we get into our Sunday or Saturday here, Friday into Saturday, I should say, it's looking like we've got a very high confidence of exceeding that 1/4 inch of liquid. So that's likely we could see maybe a 1/2 inch or a full inch of liquid. And then the amount of snow that liquid is how much snow we'll get. That ratio is still something we're ironing out. What we do think is we're going to have a band of some very heavy snow along and north of I-40. South of I-40, we'll still probably see some snow, but that'll mix in with a bit of sleet. And then down to the south, maybe towards the I-20 corridor or just a little bit north of that, we could see some freezing rain, and that's going to be its own major impact. Now, here's some context. Just since 1940, that's where the airport records go back to. Other Memphis records go all the way back to 1875, but within your lifetime, at very least, we've seen over a foot one time in Memphis. This is just single day totals, but still only seen it one time. And back in 2025, we actually had the 4th most snow we've seen for a single day at the Memphis airport. So that's how rare it is for us to get over a foot of snow. It's not likely that we'll see that, but it's not totally out of the question. Someone will see it around the area. So here's a look at the timing through Friday into Saturday. We've got that band of heavy snow. The placement of this is still subject to question, but it does show a long-lasting event. This thing isn't just moving through really quickly. It's probably going to last from late Friday all the way through the middle, if not late Sunday. So it's going to be a pretty long duration event for us. Starting off that weather impact alert for our Friday evening, continuing through Saturday and Sunday, transitioning more to an impact of the cold air and the lingering snowpack. As we were discussing earlier, the Memphis area and the Tennessee DOT are both going to be working to salt and brine some of the roads. But all the back roads are still going to have snow on them, probably for a couple of days as the priority list is worked through. So your neighborhood well off the beaten path might still have snow on it for a few days because the temperatures don't get above freezing to really bring the melting in until the middle of next week. We're still only up to around 32 there by Tuesday afternoon. So the next couple of days, get to the grocery store, get what you need, get supplies ready. And if you do have to make travel plans for this weekend, make sure you have enough water in your car to last you just in case you get stuck. Well, today, Pepper, we got up to around 45 degrees, a low around 21, only 1 degree off from the forecast either way. Much better forecast than we had for our Mondays. The models have been all over the place and they've been really struggling with some of these temperatures. So glad we got this one. But a long range forecast, of course, that's also where the models have been struggling to pin down how much snow we'll see. We'll look at that in a little bit. Right now, looking at some of these temperatures around the area, still above freezing for the most part. Corinth and Truman at 32, 31 right now in Tunica, a couple exceptions there. We do see some clouds moving in from the northwest. This is our next system that's moving in. That's going to bring us some rain chances as we head overnight and into our Wednesday. Tonight, a low around 34 degrees, so we are staying above freezing. That's good news. But as we look through that forecast tonight, we'll start to see some of those clouds moving in past midnight. By around 5 a.m., we start to see some scattered showers. Early commute tomorrow could see some light showers, but by around the 8 o'clock time frame, that's when you start to see some heavier rain popping in as well. Around midday, that's when it clears out north of I-40, south of I-40. We'll see that continue through the mid-afternoon. Then things begin to clear out, and then it's full steam ahead into our snowstorm for the weekend. So tomorrow, high around 48 degrees, one of the warmer days we'll see of the week. But as we head over the next few days, Thursday, the warmest will be up to 51. Then things change as we head into Friday. Cold air comes in, and that's when the snow begins. I'll have a full breakdown on that forecast coming up right here on CW30.